one of the questions that came in is addressed to Professor Del Monte and Professor Conte. In your study, do you have determined an organic or not organic olive oil? So can I address that to Professor Conte?
Thank you. No, my studies usually dealt with the chemical characterization, analytical method development, and validation for the check of quality and purity of the oil. And in some cases, my studies also were devoted to the evaluation of selected contaminants, such as polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons or mineral oils or something so. And all these issues does not matter as long as I think with the fact that an oil is produced according to biological procedure, biological protocols. I mean, every oil must respect the international standard, not depending on the fact of being produced by biological or not biological or conventional agricultural practice. So, no on my side.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else to respond to that? No, then I think our next question is for Professor Stocci, and I think this question is asked by more people. Is that, of course, the OLEUM project is ending, but they would like to know how they can be to join the OLEUM activities or group going forward. And this is something that will be addressed tomorrow by Tassos in his presentation about the OLEUM network. So I don't know if you would like to answer that, Tulia.
Yes, just suggesting to follow tomorrow because, yes, Tassos Koidis from the Queen's University of Belfast will address this question, how to maintain, and we have had also the opinion of Roland Poms and Gianfranco Conte, how to maintain the OLEUM network active, and also in this way enlarge the number of participants that at the beginning we had in the consortium with more members. So I think we are studying how to face this challenge. It is a possibility as well, and so tomorrow we will have also a discussion and on it. So this is my answer.
Thank you. Then there is a question for Diego, and it's about, in your opinion, what is the best method to know the ORAC value of olive oil, ORAC value of olive oil? Diego, can you respond to that?
Probably Professor Servilli is the best person for answering this question, but before giving the floor to Mauricio Servilli, I will say that there are different alternatives for ORAC measurements, but if we are talking about stability, even though there are some studies relating the ORAC value, the stability, and also the content of polyphenols and other antioxidant compounds, the main difficulty is that ORAC and all other techniques provide partial information about the stability. This was the principle for developing a methodology for assessing the freshness, because when we are talking about the freshness measurement of virgin olive oil, we are talking about moderate conditions that includes also light conditions, and also because we are using light like in a supermarket, we also have to consider the pro-oxidant compounds in virgin olive oil. So the composition is very complex. We are talking about phenols, but also pigments, and also, of course, tocopherols, etc. The fatty acid composition. We have different variables. So the objective in this case was to consider stability, but in a real storage procedure. I don't know if Professor Servilli can say something about the ORAC implication in the case of freshness.
Yes. I agree with Diego about this, because the oxidation stability that you can evaluate by accelerated method, working all at high temperature, and this is a big problem for the relationship with this kind of value and the standard condition of oxidation of oil that you have in the supermarket. There is some relationship with the high temperature oxidative test and the storage of oil in the dark, but in the light, it's the situation is completely different, because in the light we have the effect of photo oxidation, the effect of the chlorophyll that occur in virgin and extra virgin olive oil and promote the photo oxidation. Photo oxidation have a behavior completely different to the radical oxidation that can be similar to the oxidation that you have in the rapid test performed like ORAC or Rangemat. For this reason, in the OLEUM project, we are development a predictive software to define the best before, to define the shelf life of the oil according to the composition, the original composition of oil, in particular fatty acid, phenolic compound, and tocopherol. It's a predictive model that are able to define the time, the maximum time of storage of oil in the dark and also in the light, that simulate the condition of storage in the supermarket, and as consequence, the results are quite similar to the real condition of storage of oil.
Thank you very much. Then I have another question addressed to Gabriel Virgil that he already answered in the Q&A, but maybe it's good also to give this answer live during the session. And it's about what actions are being taken so that olive oil will not have the C category in the Nutri-Score. Gabriel, will you address this?
Yes, as I said in the chat, for the moment there is no EU scheme adopted yet. The Inception Impact Assessment proposed 4 options. Indeed, there are 5. There is the option 0, where nothing is done, that we continue business as usual. And then there are 4 different options. What is known now in the press, etc., as the Nutri-Score, is these graded indicators. It is one of those options. On the further question of why Germany, Belgium, etc., they apply this, it is a voluntary exercise, when the member state may allow voluntary schemes when, as they see fit, if there is an absence of EU legislation on the issue. So, as I said, for these individual member states, we are talking about a voluntary scheme. And what we are working now is our colleagues in DSANTE is this EU scheme, where, as I said, there are several options. There is still time for stakeholders and all of you that you have opinions on this issue, to share your opinion, to try to improve. If you consider that this legislation not presented for the moment is not, you don't agree with that. And anyway, you have to take into account that it's a very difficult exercise, because there are different views and there are a lot of products, so it is a complicated issue. But as I say, for the moment, it's just an initiative. So you can have your you can give your feedback along the procedure. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah, the final question in the Q&A is about the what's next for the OLEUM project, but that is something that will be covered by Tassos Koidis tomorrow in our next in our second day. Tulia, do you have any other remarks that you would like to make for today?
No, I think really we have covered altogether a number of aspects that we faced with the project, and also the opinion of some very relevant stakeholders. So I think tomorrow we can have a precise idea, or the participants will have a precise idea of the methods that were in-house or full validated, so subjected to a full validation study. We will speak about the OLEUM network, and also about the validation process as it was realized, because also this is an important result of the OLEUM project, to speed the validation when a method is selected or a marker is selected and can be considered promising. Then I think that it was very important, the fact that we absolutely need, and we need to work for the coordination and harmonization of the methods and regulation, given that the market is growing, and is growing also outside the traditional boundaries. And so I think that is all for today. It was a very interesting part of the conference, on my opinion. Also, if we are all together but all alone, as required by this pandemic, but we were able to interact in a good way. So thank you very much, the participants. Thank you really much all the partners that were actually giving the effective contribution in this project, and also who were the speakers of today and of the panel session.